What is going on? It's Wednesday, 10 a.m. Time to explore Eorzea. Last time we were in Gridania exploring this wonderful place and unlocking the jobs. As you can see, we have Lancer, Archer, and Conjurer. We also picked up Carpenter, Leatherworker, and Botanist. We're actually going to move over into Limsa today and pick up the classes over there. That's going to be Marauder, Rogue, Arcanist, and as well as the Disciples of Hand the Blacksmith, Armorer, and the Fisher, and Culinarian. So let's get to it. I think we're not quite just alone today. We have one person logging in with us. So first things first, though, we're going to pop over to Limsa. We're going to put this Gridania stuff on hold for just a minute as we go and explore in this place. Alright, so the only thing that we've done so far in Limsa is to actually attune to the Aetheryte. So what we'll do is we'll start our exploration over here, and we'll move our way westward and around and pick up classes as we go. Last one of these other streams we found out that this is somehow built on the wreckage of a ship. And then must have been expanded from there. I actually didn't know there was a Chocobo Keep here this whole time. So, but that's all. At the Zephyr Gate, we go out into Middle Limnosha. Heyo! And, yeah. There's nothing really out here. But we'll talk to Abelfar and everybody. Beyond the great Zephyr Gate of Limsa lies the Midlands of Limnosha. The gentle wind that passes through the gate is said to be the sweet breath of the gods, carrying life and fortune. Hence the Zephyr Gate. Xanthale, if you'll remember, will take us up to see the Admiral's lift. Tea and crumpets on the bridge, is it? In possession of a permission paper signed by the relevant authorities, are you? The Admiral's quarters are no place for sightseeing. If you seek the Drowning Wench, try the crow's lift over yonder. So, of course he won't let us in. We can take this guy up to the Drowning Wench, or the airship landing. And, I'm looking for the Admiral. I was looking for a fight. I don't actually know what these two do. I've seen them many times. When I said I'd follow you to the ends of the realm, I didn't think we'd need to stop and ask for directions. Welcome to the heart of Limsa, the mizzenmast. It houses the airship landing, the Adventurers Guild, and at the very top, the command room of the Admiral, from where she keeps a watchful eye over Liminsan air, land, and sea. So they're like tour guides, I guess. The crow's lift will carry you up and down the tower as fast as the crow flies. You need only speak with Greffar. Is that his name? Greffar, yeah. And tell him where you wish to go. Alright, pretty basic stuff. Not really sure what this pillar is. Maybe we'll figure it out as we go on our exploration. Oh, there, adventurer. How fare you on the all-welcoming streets of Limsa? Eye the open arms of the city gather in some rough-looking sods, but under all the grime and cussing, they're basically decent folk, for the most part. You have any troubles, the Yellow Jackets are here to help. We will see if that remains true. I'm the hired captain of the ship, or hired captain of the Eorzea. She's a fine vessel, true, but a hired captain can love his ship only as much as a paid bride can love her betrothed. Wow. He says something different. Wristflow? A ship of my own is all I've ever wanted. Was a gale away from buying one when the calamity struck, but how can I complain when so many lost much more? He says something different. You served this nation well. I have no doubt that an even greater adventures lie in your future. Go forth and do Limsa proud. Oh, interesting. Yeah, because you started here. Alright, we'll talk with Janasim. Excuse me, sir, but might you have a moment or two to spare? You seem the type who enjoys being accosted for menial tasks. Wow. Thank you. And I require someone to make a delivery to the dutiful sisters of the Edelweiss. I wouldn't be surprised if you hadn't heard of them. The sisters prefer not to advertise their presence here in Limsa. The dutiful sisters, okay. They do, however, provide a rather unique service for which the Bruguiere Consortium has recently been the beneficiary. I would have you deliver this package to their doorman, Lawnward, along with our profuse gratitude. She heard of you picking up literal Gil. This person? Janashim? Is that what you're talking about? Gotcha. And then the Bango Zango is one of the best names in the entire thing. Like, no joke. And then you can buy this fancy stuff that you can get in any of the cities, like Gizelgreens. I'll actually just pick up a few of those while I'm here. And then the first eyeglasses and a couple of pets and orchestrion rolls. This is like empty right now, except for the, the dancing line. I'm actually surprised. Sundamal, greetings adventurer. Do you wish an explanation of ethereal travel? I'm here to answer any queries you might have. So this is basically the same person as the one in Ul'dah, so we don't need a repeat of that. As ever, you will find people doing the same emote, usually this one, here, with wings. Don't ask me why, it's just how it goes. Itinerant Moogle. The Mogpendium will prove an invaluable resource during the Moogle treasure trove, Kupo. Pour over its contents to find the best ways to get your hands on irregular tomestones, then use that knowledge to fill your packs. And once the weight of your tomestones becomes too much to bear, bring them to me and I'll give you all sorts of rare and remarkable items. I now have Mogpendium. Would you like to view the tutorial? Sure. The Moogle Treasure Trove is a special event held at irregular intervals. Complete objectives during the week to obtain irregular tomestones, which can be traded to itinerant Moogles for a variety of rare items. So you can access the special site to determine when it actually lasts, and then they can be exchanged for items and stuff. And there's standard, weekly, minimog, and ultimog challenges, so some of these will refresh, some of them will not. And then basically you go through and you can do these pieces of content to earn the tomestones, which will get you the rewards. It's pretty basic. You can either farm them specifically, or you can just kind of get them as you go about your business. And I personally don't go about farming them most of the time. Let's talk to Sweet Nick's Rosy Cheeks. Alright, Sweet Nix is beauteous Gabi and crafty smart trade maker. Sweet Nix makes busy deal with uplanders. Need delivery letter of gate to gate of Mealvon, but Sweet Nix has shiver shakes. So you're nervous to take a letter. Uplander walks to gate of Mealvon for Sweet Nix. Uplander delivers letter to tax lady Pataja. Okay. What do you got for us, Glazrael? Ever wonder why this courtyard was called the Octant? No, I had not. It was named for the navigation tool invented by the famous Giovanni Gnono. With the Aetheryte placed here at its center, the Octant has always been one of Limsa's busiest hubs, so this area behind us is the Octant. And then market board, summoning bell, tradecraft supplier, independent jewelry, Rose. I may be here on business, but I do so enjoy visiting foreign ports. Limsa has a character that is unlike any of that of my native Ul'dah. The lure of the exotic is indeed irresistible. You can tell that somebody's from Ul'dah just by this. It's very common. And then Swazblate. You, sir, adventurer, I have work for you. I would have you pose as a customer and survey the market's current prices. Surely I did not see you balk at so simple a task. All you need to do is strike up a conversation with the shop owners and glance over their wares. There are 3 merchants that interest me: Iron Thunder, Kyokiorun, and Sinahil. Write down all that you see on this price list and hand it to Bainsing on West Hawker's Alley. He shall reward you for your service. You know, maybe it's that maybe I like Ul'dah because I can just pronounce the names without having to go like full on like Norse or French in Gridania. Because everybody's like, the hardest thing in Ul'dah is like the Lalafell names. What's wrong with Swalblate? Yeah, you tell me. You're German, though. You're used to this kind of stuff. Well met, lad. Cast your peepers over these beauties. Not a spot of rust to be found. Every piece fresh from the forges of Naldic and Vimelis, which is in town. Is easy to pronounce too, huh? This Mamulja is like pretty out of place, but 2 score blood sausages, raw. You want 40 blood sausages? Yeah, this has normally got some peeps around it too. Old Limlane, see me safe to Fisherman's Bottom. It's literally right there. Like, I think you'll be fine. Give me 10, no 20. I think I'll pass. Fruits of the navigator's loins, straight from the depths of her salty womb. That's one way to put it. Oh, while I'm here, I'm going to grab this Ethernet shard. Oh, I already did. The only one... Oh, crazy. Zwinberg. This here is Hawker's Round, where east meets west. The place bustles with buyers and sellers both. Company chest, which, by the way, somebody asked if I would unlock that for the company. Let's see. Rank. I'm just going to do Star Chaser and Astronaut as having chest access. Let's see. Change hierarchy. How do we do this? Change hierarchy settings. You right click. Chest access. And then one view only. For Star Chaser, we're going to do full access and full access. And we're going to do deposit money only. Confirm. And then for Astronaut, we're going to do chest access is full. Okay. Cool. That way, by default, my people that joined have that access. All right, we're going to get the step dance as well. Okay. Oh dear, my cask of ale is gone, and it had to be one ordered by someone who doesn't brook tardiness. I would bring the matter to the Maelstrom, or perhaps seek help from the Yellow Jackets, but my client would likely frown on involving anyone official. An adventurer such as yourself that would be capable of doing a little unofficial investigating. Will you find the stolen ale for me? It was right outside Fisherman's Bottom. Surely someone saw something. What's that? You would have the client's name? Oh, none of that. Discretion creates opportunities. Now go to Fisherman's Bottom and make your inquiries before this cold of mine grows worse. The executioners. Alright, so we'll continue on to the left. Hit up Kyokyo Rune. Kyokyo Rune welcomes welcome customer. Kyokyo Rune loves his lovely trade. Kyokyo Rune's goods are goodly made. Battlecraft supplier. And then Sine Hill. That's a fine rod. A fine rod indeed. A fine morning to you, sir. What can I interest you in? Why, you seem interested in most everything, don't you? Is this another one of those investigations? Well, I have nothing to hide. You might need to report this Lalafell to the guild. Which Lalafell? You better not be talking about me. Or are you talking about, that guy? Right up there. That one who's being all, sketchy. Bainsing. You're the one who made a list for Swazblade? Alright, let's have it then. The one with the very legitimate trade of wine. Yes, that's... I had already moved on, but yes, I remember. Nothing wrong with the market as far as I can tell. You oftentimes get pirates selling stolen goods at cutthroat prices, and that drives the numbers down right across Hawker's Alley. Thanks to these reports, though, we can tell at a glance when shady dealings are taking place. Like right outside, like Guyman said. Good work, lad. And then Materia Melder. Pretty standard. While we're here, we'll pick up Arcanist. But first, let's go check out the little pier here. And Rabahara. Who must I speak with to have my ship unquarantined? How much is the tariff on sun lemons, woman? Would one of you grab the door? All vessels that make use of Limsa Limita's ports must submit a cargo inspection and pay the duties incurred. Dude, that would have to be, like, so busy. Because, like, I'm sure ships are in here and out all the time. Please direct all inquiries and complaints to the front desk of Milvan's Gate. Which we have to be talking to someone there anyway. So ferry tickets, you can travel to Vesper Bay from here. That's the intake. Usually a line here too. Is there actually? And we're just missing it because it's nighttime? I wonder if that's one of the things that changes. The most tranquil moments of my life have all occurred when there was a ship under my feet and bait in the ocean. Nothing else comes close. Gotcha. Fish, of course. Oh, and here's some jewelry. What do you sell? You sell dark matter and bait. Standing here, I see people from the most exotic locales of Eorzea across my path. It's enough to make one want to leave this post and hop on a ship to some unexplored corner of the world. So one day, perhaps. Script exchange, which... I mean, we'll get there eventually. I have the honor of being captain of the Endeavor. If you've ever dreamed of fishing on the high seas, you'd best head to the Fisherman's Guild. So, makes sense. This is the ocean fishing place. Welcome to the endeavor, pride and joy of the Fisherman's Guild. If the thought of embarking on a voyage of the high seas piques your interest, you may be pleased to know we are currently recruiting new members. Any interested parties are welcome to report to the guild at Limsa. So we won't hear anything about that while we're not fishers. Another pier. And then this family says, someone said a big boat was coming. Do you see it? No. But all the boats in this place are gigantic. They're like 3,000 stories tall. A true fisher must devote his entire self to the craft. We've no time for love or dalliance. The sea and its creatures are all the companionship we need. You might be missing out there, friend. Goes down almost as easy as it comes up. Don't give him any ideas. I don't mind the taste. You must be joking. So he goes back and forth. I think just carrying that the whole time. And we can't actually go back there. But, like, yeah, look at the size of these boats. They're just giganto. Alright. May as well get Jog going. Alright. Now's a good time to pick up Arcanist. After we... Long stand makes gobby legs shake and quake. Could you be any more specific, sir? So yeah, a whole bunch of travelers. I'm going to need you to sign this import ship. Or import slip. Like, you got Mammal Jaw, Goblins, and, what are these guys actually called? I can't remember right off the top of my head for some reason. Cairn. Those dream flowers cost us a fortune. Being a customs officer often feels like a thankless job. On any given day, a dozen strangers will accuse you of high sea robbery. I must constantly remind myself that what I do is for the good of the nation. And Patanja. Where is Sweetnix with those import records? Without the proper documentation, I'm afraid we'll have to expel him from the city. Why, these are Sweetnix's records. Glad I am to see that they were submitted in time. Honestly, you would think that Goblin would have lost his fear of our offices by now. Every month he is to submit these papers, and every month his tardiness forces me to consider his removal. As long as one follows proper procedure, Limsa is quite welcoming of foreign traders. Pray convey these words to Sweetnix. Perhaps it will aid in soothing the Goblin's poor fears. Or poor Goblin's fears. And then that's the guild master, so we have to talk to this person first. Alright, welcome to the Arcanist Guild. It is here that we research and develop the field of Arcanima. Arcanima is the science of employing arcane geometries, intricate patterns that map the unlocked mysteries of existence, to draw forth and manipulate the body's etheric energies. So, something that I have definitely been missing out on is the fact that you're basically taking magic through math. If you prefer an arcane art built on structured thought and precise reasoning, then your discerning intellect may find a home here at our guild. Might you consider enrolling yourself as an initiate? Of course I would. Aha, just as I predicted. Before we proceed any further, however, let us first feed your appetite for knowledge with a morsel of guild history. The roots of Arcanima can be traced back to esoteric calculations practiced by the people of the South Sea Isles. It was these island folk that first discovered a method to express natural phenomena in mathematical terms. Building on this process, the existing mathematical formulae were further developed into arcane geometries, precise patterns that allowed a practitioner to weave ether into specific magical effects. The mages who invoked this new form of magic became known as arcanists, and the school of Arcanima was born. Many such mages, wishing to expand their understanding of the world, took to the seas aboard trading vessels. Upon their arrival in Limsa, arcanists found themselves welcomed into the academic elite, which doesn't really strike me as this place being that, academic elite, and soon secured positions in the realm of governance and council. The knowledge of the Arcanist, however, is traditionally passed on from master to chosen disciple. As such, Admiral Merleweeb, counting several wielders of Arcanima among her personal staff, became concerned that this exclusionary practice would lead to the eventual extinction of the art. So this has happened within Merleweeb's time as leader, and then maybe a little bit beforehand, so it's actually fairly recent. So at the Admiral's express orders, an official Arcanist Guild was established, and funding was provided for research and training. The complex and demanding nature of the Arcanima, however, remains the greatest threat to its own future. If you invite such cerebral challenges, then you have to reaffirm your commitment to joining our guild. Have you decided to enroll in our guild? Are you now intimidated by the thought of excessive thinking? Girl, all I do is excessively think. Your sound judgment is to be commended. Now, standard practice dictates that I introduce you to our guildmaster that you might convey your intentions in person. Due to extraordinary circumstances, however, he is unreachable at present. Oh. Instead, you may speak to Mistress Supergame. She is... Oh, man, I can't see her. She has shouldered full responsibility for the guild's leadership in the interim. You'll find her just over there by the bookshelves. You needn't be shy, though her mind is sharp and critical. Her manner is almost always welcoming. So even though it says Guildmaster here, you would totally miss out on the fact that she's just acting Guildmaster, and their Guildmaster is missing. Interesting. Yes, I'm Supergame. Greetings and welcome to the Arcanist Guild. As Miri has doubtless explained, I am serving as acting Guildmaster until our wayward leader deigns to return. I assume our capable receptionist also spoke of our art's origins? Allow me then to expound upon its nature. Arcanima taps into the living energies of ether. The evidence of this is represented most aptly, perhaps, by our ability to manifest the arcane entity Carbuncle, and the manner of magic by which this ethereal ally employs at our command. The core of this discipline, however, is found in the pursuit of definitive solutions to any potential quandary, even on the field of battle, nay, especially on the field of battle. This practice takes precedence. Or this principle takes precedence. If one wishes to make a certain victory... Oh, goodness gracious. If one wishes to make certain the question of victory, then one must apply the most effective strategy. An arcanist is measured by his ability to calmly analyze a situation from moment to moment and respond with the most appropriate spells at hand. The study of Arcanima will test your mental faculties to the point of perplexity. Are you prepared to reason your way through predicament after predicament? I am prepared to reason my way through one colored crayon at a time. An unambiguous response, the kind I most prefer. Let us now see if the clarity of your words is matched by the sharpness of your mind. Here, take this grimoire in hand, and we shall next judge your aptitude for our discipline. Okay, so we need to take the grimoire in hand. And recommended gear. Actually, we need to make a gear set. Arcanist. And again, we're just going to be a little picky here. We're going to move thermometers down. Okay. And we'll talk to Thubergame. It is a hefty tome, is it not? I promise you, a grimoire's weight becomes a comforting anchor amidst the shifting seas of battle, a fact you will soon discover. In Lower Lenosha, you will find, among others, 3 species of pest, wharf rats, little ladybugs, and Aureliae. I ask that you employ your fledgling skills in Arcanima to eradicate 3 of each type of creature. Leave the city through the Tempest Gate, and you will soon encounter the potential targets in abundance. As long as you remain focused, I do not foresee these opponents causing you or your budding abilities undue difficulty. Once you return from completing this preliminary trial, I will welcome you as an official member of the Arcanist Guild. May your judgment remain swift and clear. Logic is found in many ways. It can also mean that the best course of logic is to equip 2 knives and sneak up upon a target to assassinate them. Not that you would ever do that, of course. You're more of the posh type. Yeah, definitely more of the posh type. But you're very wise to say that because, I mean, the defeating of enemies does not always have to be done in a complex manner. The reception hall lies straightway. And then we'll actually go down there at some point, so it's not really worth checking out right this second. We will swing down by Fisherman's Bottom, though, although we missed a yellow quest. What am I thinking? Not that you speak of experience, Alright. Here at Milvan's Gate, we inspect all the goods that are imported into Limsa and collect duty as the law requires. So this is both Arcanist Guild and like inspection hall, like you had mentioned, but like doesn't that kind of become cluttered? And collect duties the law requires. Some merchants, however, seek to evade this obligation, and we must chase them down. I would be grateful if you could deliver these 2 ledgers, one to a man named Sundamal, whom you will find at the Octant, and the other to a woman named Letitia, who works at the Bismarck. If you're uncertain to the whereabouts of the Bismarck, ask Sundamal when you meet him, and he will point you in the right direction. I thought the inspection is carried out by the Arcanist Guild since they're good with numbers. You know, maybe. Seems reasonable, to be honest. I don't know why I ignored the Ethernet. Maybe it's because I'm not used to Limsa, to be honest. I don't come here that often. But the next stuff is near the Fisherman's Guild, which we can just take the Ethernet because most of that stuff is right near it. And we also have to unlock Fisher anyway. Affable Angler. After a cask? Well, can't really say if it's your cask, but there was a big fella come by recently carrying one. He asked me if I had smoked mackies that would go down nice with ale. Tain't the only thing I know, neither. The louse wore black, and you know what that means. The bloody executioners. And small-boned cellar. Do I see someone walk off with a cask of ale? Why, sure, it was during the afternoon of offloading. Fella didn't look like a thief, though. Hoisted the cask and walked right over to the Astalicia. Alright. We'll pick up Fisher while we're here, though. Chucharoon. Chucharoon's mouth waters at mouth-watering fish from the waters. Can I just say that was a lot of, like, water? Chucharoon's mouth waters at mouth-watering fish from waters. Very insightful, definitely. But what of all the Kikirn? There be fish aplenty off the salt strand. And then there's Kikirn there. That's why she's afraid to go. Well, a well-wishing welcome to you, adventurer friend. You've worked your way to Fisherman's Bottom. When you want to fish for just a day, you can call a culinarian, but we fishermen feast for life. I've set the bait. Think you're ready to bite? Oh my goodness. All the wordplay. Hooray, hooray, looks like we've got a live one. Let me walk you through the life of a fisherman in Limsa. Since we're surrounded by the seas, the fishing sites are a fisherman's delight. If you can't fish it here, you can't fish it anywhere. While some of us rope our fish in with rods and reels, others skim the seabed with nets for creepy crawly critters. You might say we cast a wide net. People prattle about our pullers just about everywhere in Limsa. And there's much more I haven't mentioned. We shepherd the ships, preside over the ports, manage the mongers, all while making sure not to leave any adventurers out to sea. I'll wager you prefer to work alone, so we'll start you off with the rod and reel. Now, you may not necessarily net the numbers net fishing yields, but pole fishing positively pulls prettier prizes, and that's the long and short of it. When you're ready for another bite of bait, I'll reel you in before the guildmaster. Good grief. I love it, but I'm struggling to read it. I'd hate to hear you had a change of heart. You haven't, have you? Spoken truly like a true bespoke fisherman. Well, then it's time you meet the guildmaster. But unfortunately, and somewhat ironically, our nefarious netmaster is out fishing at the moment. This moment, and every moment, that is. So Sisipu tends to take tasks that require tending to. Ah, that's right, this is another one where, like, the guildmaster's... he doesn't show up very often. Ow! Such as deciding whether you'll sink or swim with our guild. You were waiting to... Oh, you were waiting for me to have to read the fishing quest text. You should have warned me. Hi, by the way. Sisipa's presiding over those pools. Whenever you decide to say hello, she might seem somewhat standoffish, but she's only keeping an eye out for sharks. Be yourself and you'll have nothing to worry about. Sharks in here? Good grief. One sec. Okay. See if this guy has anything. How are you this fine morning? Bills no. Without the Fisherman's Guild, the pullers wouldn't have a place to gather and discuss issues like setting a wholesale price for fish or organizing repairs for waterfront facilities. And since we started taking in foreign fisherfolk, the existence of the guild is especially important. Aside from teaching those outsiders the ways of Limsa's waters, we all get a chance to learn new tricks from one another. Alright, Sisipu. Yes, save your breath. I heard every word between you and Nimulika. Nimulika? That's such an odd name. And I know she told you my role here. As she said, Wawalago's supposed to be guildmaster, but apparently he has bigger fish to fry, so all his work falls to me. That includes making sure our new fish aren't shellfish idiots. Or potential anemones. Ugh, my goodness. This whole place. You've passed the first test by not laughing at that awful joke. Now it's true, I didn't. I was groaning. Now you need the right answer to the question. Are you prepared to fish like you've never fished before? Well, considering I've never fished before, well, you're smarter than the majority of bottom dwellers that find their way here. Welcome to the guild. You laughed at it? Now, this wouldn't be much of a guild if we sent you out to sea with only a pole and a prayer, so I suppose I can spare you a few pearls of wisdom. Nevertheless, you're going to need that pole and prayer, so I can at least provide you with the former. Here you go. 1 out of 2 isn't bad. I'll even throw in these lugworms, since you're not like to get far without bait. The rods we bestow upon our new fish are priceless objects, which is to say they don't cost anything. Once you know what you're doing, you'll probably want a proper one. But in the meantime, let's see if you can figure out how to hold your pole. Ready the one I gave you, and your lessons can begin. I can't even handle this place. Okay. Take pole in hand. And gear set plus recommended just to be on the safe side. Update. Readying your line. To fish, you must first change your class to fisher by equipping a rod in your main hand. If the body of water you are near is fishable, the icon for the cast action will glow. Oh, okay. I actually had never paid attention to whether it was glowing or not. Determine a bait to apply to your line by selecting the bait action and then checkmarking the desired item from the list. Some bait can only be used in certain locations or for certain types of fish. Bait and tackle can be harvested and made by disciples of the hand or purchased from various merchants. Always make sure your inventory is stocked before heading out into the wild. Okay, so he's got 2 quests for us. My first fishing rod. You're looking quite formidable. Let's hope you don't scare all the fish away. Now the first rule of fishing is to hold on to your rod. Take care of your rod, and your rod will take care of you. Let me know if I'm going too fast for you. Since you're new here, we're going to start small, and then they don't come much smaller than anchovies. You'll find schools of anchovies swimming around outside in Galadian Bay, so you can catch your meager supper without even walking 10 yalms. Anchovies are hardly the most cunning fish in the sea, making them an ideal first assignment. Simply bait a hook with some of those lugworms I gave you, dip it in the water, and then the fish will practically catch themselves. To catch Limsa anchovies for Sisipu, first select a suitable lure using bait action, then use cast to begin fishing. When you feel a tug on your line, use the hook action to reel in your catch. So we'll explain that a little bit better. Fishing log contains everything about the actual fish. So like Middle Lenosha or Limsa, you know, somewhere around here you can go fish, and then it'll tell you what this place actually is. Logs, the fish guide will tell you actual details about individual fish themselves. Alright, the calamity really knocked out the wind out of the fishing industry's sails, but fisherfolk are starting to return to the seas once more. It's past time I did the same. But before I can go out to sea again, I need to have a new boat built. Our guild has always commissioned Naldic and Vimelis for its crafts, but they are greatly busy these days. Beastly busy these days. If you want something to do, mayhap you could run over to the Armorer's Guild and consult with Forge Master Hananza in my stead. I would know how long we might expect to have to wait. Alright, so we're going to need 5 Limsa anchovies for this quest. Well, I must admit the variety of the catch found in Costa del Sol pales in comparison to the teeming fish markets of Limsa. And if one were to consider the dilemmas inherent in transporting freshly caught cargo from the city, it may prove wiser to employ a fisherman directly at the manor. Do you happen to know if the guild here is willing to hire out individuals talented with line and lure? Our guild has a fine collection of live fish in the pool there. It's always squirming with the latest catch, you see. And when the sea's been unkind with her bounty, I'll just drop a line in all sneaky like. Fine weather we're having, ain't it? So wait a minute. Is this like connected to the river so you can get like fish coming through here and then they just disappear? And like the chef can like pop in and grab something? Or not chef, or the fisher can just pop in right here and then like season them for preservation or whatever? Because if so, that's pretty cool actually. I kind of want like a river in my house as my sink. Be pretty cool. Alright, so we're just going to pop over here. What's not possible? Having a river in my house? They've got them. Or what? Alright. So, triangulate is actually not... Oh, fishing? Yeah, fishing in that pool. You tried it? Yeah, I just meant for like world building though. I don't really think I need triangulate or arbor call. So let's see. This one abandons fishing but keeps your stuff at bay. I don't actually ever use that because I can just use cast again. The light, so the bait up here, and then we'll do alt 1 for cast, and then hook for 1, and then quit. I again don't need that because you can just move. So we're going to select our bait, and then alt 1 to cast, and then we're going to wait for a second. And when we see a little indicator here above our heads, that's when we're going to want to use hook. And then you can turn this thingy on for fun. It doesn't do much. It's just aesthetic. So we caught an anchovy. So we fish again. So we need 5 of them. First time we caught the fish, we got a big extra chunk of experience. I think. Or maybe we just got that much experience for catching the fish because of... I think we did get a bonus. Yeah, plus 400% versus plus 200. And we're already level 4, and we've only caught 2 anchovies. Alright, so we just need one more. Oh, no, that was a finger shrimp. We learned a new action. Chum. Reduces the amount of time for the next fish to bite. Costs 100 GP. But for the time being, there's no reason not to use it. Because we just want faster catches. Alright? So it just lasts for one fish by the sound of it. So we'll cast that, and then we'll... use cast. I guess we'll use that and then cast. And yeah, you could just go to the market board and buy some anchovies. But learning how to fish the first time. Malm, kelp. What is this? So you'll see that typical gatherers increase in GP. It'll just go up over time. We got about 30 or so back in the time it took us to catch that fish with Chum active. Oh my goodness. I need some anchovies, come on. Okay, one more anchovy, come on. And we're definitely high enough to take the next quest, not that we're going to. So I don't want to spend all day just fishing. There we go. See? And by moving, it put my stuff away. Fish size, the higher your perception, the better chance you have of landing a large size fish. Depending on the variety, it may be useful before mooching. And then sneak. The disciples of the land are allowed to sneak. You activate sneak, and then you can go up around enemies up to 4 levels above you. Eventually, you get auto sneak at level... It's a trait. 27, so then you just don't have to have this on your bar for that class ever again. Alright, anchovies swim off the shore of Limsa, blah blah blah. Okay. Here, Chovy, here, Chovy. Flare flock of feisty fish you've got, giddy guppy. Careful they don't slip out of sight. Oh look, the wayward guildmaster. Wow-a-lago, to what do we owe the pleasure? A guildmaster's got to get after the guppies, dividing up the daily drudgery, picking out a proper potable, and some such support and service. And who gets after the guildmaster? We have books to balance, you know. Books you should be balancing. I did my best to balance the books, but the bilge keel bent the bow back, bouncing the whole batch off the boat. That's not what... You know it was just an expression. But that's neither here nor there. So long as you keep at the bit, Eorzeon, our books will balance themselves. Don't let that go to your head, of course. Any beginner can snag some anchovies, but you'll need to experiment with different lures and explore new waters if you want to catch the big ones. Fundamentals are fine, but the fun in fishing is for new finds. Like my uncle always said, fishing's like philandering. You never know what you'll catch. Wow! And with those well-spoken words of wisdom, we will leave you to your wiles. Oh my goodness, so much alliteration. The next Fisher quest will be available at 5. I think we will leave it for now, though, so I don't clutter up my journal. Because, I mean, I'm already at 18 quests. Phil's no. however, has a quest for us. Well, if it ain't Eorzeon, you may have just taken up your rod, but anyone can see you've got a keen eye of a fisherman. And I reckon you're looking to make that eye keener still. Bigger fish, more exotic locales. Aye, that's what we all seek, isn't it? And it just so happens I can tell you how to find them. You see, the Fisherman's Guild has just constructed a vessel, or a vast boat equipped for voyages on the high seas. As far as I know, Captain Eorzea is looking for a band of fishermen adventurous enough to brave the deepest fishing hole of them all. If you think you've the stones for it, I'm sure he'll be glad to take you on. So, by the sound of it, unlocking ocean fishing. Alright, so while we're in this area, we're going to talk to Preoccupied Porter, and then hit the Rogues Guild. Looking for Dodazon's cask of ale, eh? Aye, I'll help you. Dodazon ain't a bad sort for a swiven trader. There was a toper came after the cask, or came asking for the cask. Wanted it to know if it was an ale, the poxy fool. Oh, you know, you disconnected. We'll see you in just a moment. We gathered our information. Yeah, you can see Guildmaster over here. We're just going to take a quick gander at what's going on over here. He's a triple triad player, too. You both do better in the guild polishing something. I was trying to read all of those at once. That was bad. Polishing the mess. Ha ha ha. A little more here, lemon cake. Call me that again. And this bucket. Call me that, and this bucket goes on your head. The navigator smiles upon me today. They are chatty. Wabbalago. I have deemed that love and fishing are not so dissimilar in definition. Why, neither fish nor maid can be caught without carefully considered cast, after all. But though I have spent many a season in polishing my poles to perfection, ever are my advances avoided by the objects of my ardent affection. Oh, poor guy. I'm sure you'll find love eventually. Alright, so let's pop over to the Astalicia, which is probably the biggest ship of them all. Good grief. Look how much of it sits out of the water. And knowing how boats work, you gotta wonder how much is actually in the water. The Astalicia. Big area here. I needs me a scrag to do me scrag work. You want to pawn off your work on someone else, right? We may be pirates, but we ain't uncivilized. We'll go up first. There's just floor after floor after floor. The decks, they be stained with the blood of more men than there be in all of Limsa. Wow. That's brutal. So tons of pirates, and you'd probably eat your own ma if you cooked. Young Executioner. So yeah, this ship belongs to the Bloody Executioners. What are you looking at? This is a dance a dance duel. Much more important than anything you got. Much more. They're breakdance fighting. You may be able to scamper up the rigging to the crow's nest, but can you get down? Not for a siren's... you great clodhopper. Begging pardon, Captain, but there ain't no Makoti alive heavier on her feet than a great Galutin Rogadin such as yourself. Haha, well said, Captain, and well retorted, you bloody Sunseeker. Or was you a Moonkeeper? What other lands you got there? Who even cares, am I right? Who are you, anyway? This is a whole passel of you afore, but now there's only one. That's a miser's trick it is. Wow, you were that drunk, huh? Nope, nothing worse than a miser. What was a Madrigal Admiral? What was his name? He didn't like no drinking or dancing. Bad for corals. Corals? Can't be right. Corals! Ha! Of course you're right there, laddie. Should never doubt myself. I can't read drunk. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so this Madrigal, I'll call him Madrigal Pinchfist, passed decrees like they was farts. He decreed no dancing within a hand's reach of spirits. But no Madrigal's smarter than a sailing man. We just stopped reaching with our hands altogether. Ha! We inventiated step dancing. That showed Madrigal Pinchfist in his corals. Ah, that's right, fella. Gets me all fired up, too. Makes you think, like, oh, I know, you want to dance. All this time I thought you was being churlish, but... So, yeah, I never paid attention to the actual story. So they invented this step dance to get around drinking restrictions. Interesting. No, I insist. Dance first, talk later. That's the way of it. And everybody joins. Why, you cagey sea fox, dancing like sailing folk you do. Could swear there was 3 of you, or was I just... Never mind, you practically bother now. You ask me anything. Who wrote this dialogue? Ah! A cask of Dodogen's ale? Carried it from Fisherman's Bottom my very own self, I did. Had to, matter of fact. We'd already drunk all we had aboard. Of course Dodogen's getting paid for it. Someday. Don't make a difference if he frets a night or 2, heh? Why, you reprobate! That's the tale the cask he lugged in? Ugh. Blackguard! You dare call yourself a bloody executioner, all hugger-mugger about what belongs to who? Dodogen has the cods not to mule about the colors we wear, and you play him for a fool? I'm sorry, Captain. Wasn't thinking it through. Gots to fix that, I do. It's what they call a choral failing. This guy, I can't even. Adventurer, I beg pardon for my man. I swear Limlayan Mace took him for an oyster and gave him grit for brains when she made him. Since you're already here, how about you square our account with Dodogen? Take this payment to him. We'd be much obliged. You trust a random stranger in Limsa to take money to someone? You danced with us and all, so I'm trusting the guild won't inspire any moral failings in you. That's some long keel on the Astalicia, if you take my meaning. These two. And this one. And this one. They're all just, for like days. That's like a whole lot of like lore behind this dance and like story. You had enough? Tell us where you hid the loot, you rotten scrag. Is them buzzards I see circling? Like if I sat on your back, Oxbreath, won't you quit, you bloody sea cow, right after you, lass? Help me. They're so chatty. Also, one of the coolest places to be is right here. And I actually did this for a shot in a video. It was the level 100 miner video. That's right, where I had a revelation. That pier is a lot longer than I thought. Like, wow, there's a whole bunch of stuff over here that I've never noticed. Huh. Cool. Like, I'm higher than the upper deck there. Oh, that's a vista. You've arrived at a vista. You look around. Oh, what is it? Pray? Oh, no. Dance? Oh, what's the command? Hang on. We're going to find this out. It might be the wrong time, though, too. Yeah, we're going to just make sure. So, fair skies are clear sides, 6 p.m. to 5. Oh, we're like an hour or 2 early. Because, let's see, the skies are clear. Maybe we'll pop back by, I don't know. There's like so many people on the ship. I mean, by the time I explore the rest of this ship, it'll probably be ready. Some captains claim to have the biggest, toughest pirate crew in Limsa, but nobody makes that boast for the gathered axes of the bloody executioners. We've been to the very edges of the eastern seas and plucked treasures from the holds of imperial ships. The holds. These other scrags ain't naught but pea in the wind. Used to be we had Kikirn swab the decks. Muriel. Who's Muriel? I don't actually know who this is. They say pirates know how to swing an axe, but so I've been looking for a fight to hone my skills. Interesting. Swabbing would be a rat's job if you ask me. Man, such Kikirn lack of love. Let's check out the... What? Oh, interesting. I just got caught on the railing. Can't jump down there. You gotta go this way to get... Wait. This place confuses me every time. That's right. Nope, that's not right. Does that say no entry? No entry, yeah. Getting at it. Oh, that's right. Okay. Is there a way down? Because I don't remember if so. Maybe that's it. Maybe you just go up. So it says 6 p.m. to 5 a.m. So, I mean, it's still a bit... Oh! That's who they're talking about. This guy, right here. Being hung up by a rope. Let's see. So, let's take the Ethernet. Maybe we'll pop back by... Actually, let's go get rogues. That's near enough that we can swing back and get the Vista. Actually, we had to talk to this guy anyway. Aye, this is the Dutiful Sisters of Edelweiss. Oh! That's the Rogues Guild? It's called the Dutiful Sisters? I actually had no idea. A house of deep reflection and meditation. So unless you're proper business with us, you can kindly bugger off. It's only an innocent inn? I see what you're saying. What's this then? A parcel from the Bruguer Consortium, eh? Let's have a peek inside. Ooh, walnut bread and ginger cookies. And a few of them Bismarck finger sandwiches, too. The Consortium Coles know the right way to show appreciation. Some of them sisters have unholy appetites, so it's best I save a few bites for myself before I take them inside. You let Janasim know that we're always here should her boss have need of us again. There's not behind these convent doors for a worldly type like you, Gov. We're the Dutiful Sisters of the Edelweiss, all pure and saintly like... Oh, okay, now I see why they call it that. No, bugger off. Hang about. Ain't that the cove that goes by the name of Eorzeon? I knew it. We like to snilch all the rising talent, and from what I hear, you're head and shoulders above the rest. Yeah, I'm not head and shoulders above anything. If you can handle yourself half as well as they say, you might well be of use to us. Forget that whole Sisters of the Edelweiss bollocks. That's just a bit of fun to fob off the curious Coles. We're a guild of rogues, mate, and it's it's mainly our marks as does the praying. Good luck with this dialogue too. Yeah. Me and mine work in the shadows of the Limsa, taking a keen edge to the rooks and cacklers would have earned themselves a million. We don't tout for members, but every now and again we might offer a promising young cove a place in the ranks. If you've an interest in joining us, tip us your daddles and we'll put a hilt in each one, just like the gods intended. So tip us your daddles means give us your hands. So what do you say? Fancy learning a new trade? Sure. Good to see you're keen, but I should probably warn you of a few points before you dive in. Where most guilds take pride in turning their members into best bloody candlestick makers they can be, we only care about getting the job done. And the job ain't pretty. You become one of us and soon you'll be neck deep in scum and knife fights. So if you're looking to scamper across rooftops and bilk dandies of their blunt, you'd best take up with a different crew. Think on that and come back if you're still keen. I mean, I would still like to scamper across rooftops, but can't I do both? I didn't scare you off then? Bene. He speaks part Italian? It's who? Like, man, you're piratey. You're Italian, you're a convent guy pretending... I don't know what to do with you. They told me you was a meddlesome cove, and so it's proved. You'll need every ounce of that metal soon enough. Now step inside and have a prattle with Jackie. Gosh, he's our upright man, the master of the guild. You guys say Jack or Jackie? I think normally I would just said Jack. You may enter the Rogues Guild. You looking ahead inside? Yes. Captain Jack. Throws another one back. Check out these knife skills. Captain Jack throws another one back. What is the line? The Sail North song. Something while we're breaking our backs. His name means jacket in German, by the way. Nice. I am the one they call Jack, though I'm surprised you've heard of me. Perhaps you'd be good enough to tell me your name, along with what the kindly cove has told you mine. Ah, the famous Eorzeon. Old Lonnie Left Patch let you in, did he? He can't throw a blade for anything, but that one eye don't miss not when it comes to sizing up a Dimber Colt for the Stalin. Just one thing, you ain't a pirate, are you? No. Well, then it's time you stalled you was stalled to the rogue. Pull on your best beater cases and I'll swear you in myself when you're ready. Now, I could fill your waddles and with the storied history of our guild, but that's just wids and wind. The most important thing, the only thing we care about is getting the job done. Now, most folk, and I'm assuming you're among them, know that not long after Limsa's founding, the city was overrun by a motley collection of pirates and thieves. But as wild as that lot were, it soon became clear that they'd all end up killing each other if they didn't lay down a few rules, an unspoken code of conduct, as it were. Once you don't bite the purses... Okay, 1, you don't bite the purses of your fellow Liminsans. 2, you don't rook a crew out of their spoils. And 3, you don't trade coals like they was chattel. I'll admit the finer points of the code are a mite murky, but most agree on those 3 at least. Now you might be thinking none of that amounts to a sack of dillberries now that the Admiral's outlawed piracy, but in the back alleys and black markets where Muralwood's great grip ain't so tight, the code's still alive and well. And just as the law is enforced by the Yellow Jackets, the code is regulated by us rogues. We go where the shadows are darkest and hand out justice to them as break the code. Some rum-soaked cove steals goods from the wrong coal, and we steal them back. That's the job, my natty lad. Of course, we don't hop the twig and when the blade work's called for neither. You'll see there's more to our dagger play than just sticking coals at the pointy end. We'll weaken a mark with poison, fade away and strike in the darkmans, whatever it takes to get the work done. We don't do anything with poison. Well, Eorzeon, what do you say to that? Got the guts to do a rogue's job? Do you have the guts to do a rogue's job? No, but I'm sure gonna collect the guts. Alright then, first we're off to find you, or get your kit sorted out. A rogue needs to be light on his dew beaters to stay on the Mark's trail. The job might have you fighting across a deck or weaving through a mob, and the last thing you want is a bleeding great battle axe what hooks itself on every rope and post. That's why we stick to daggers. They let you slip through the streets just as easily as they slip through a rook's ribs. Here, take these stabbers and let's see how they look on you. Just don't get so excited with your new toys that you forget to dress for the role. You'd be surprised how many colts come back to me in their bloody small clothes. I certainly would be that surprised. Rogue unlocked. Okay, and then recommended, and boom, and up, and up, and up, and up, and up, and up, and up. Managed to strap those daggers on without cutting yourself? Well, we're off to a good start, I'd say. Next, you'll want to get a feel for the weight and speed of your new weapons. I reckon those bleating cheats out in the field outside Limsa should serve for your first lesson. I test your blades on a few of them lambs, then slice up some rats and pugils for good measure. Mind that you mill them beasties one at a time, though. I know you've served far worse in the past, but you're no dimber-damber with them stabbers just yet. Alright. So I followed the code now, huh? You must excuse me staying hidden since I don't want my cover to blow, since I'm sure you all know I'm not shady at all. I would respond, but I don't know where you are. You're gone. And what does Botchard have to say? The name's Botchard. I might be the eldest rogue left standing, but I'm happy to leave the guild mastering to young Jack. I won't be giving you jobs or aught like that, but I can learn ye a thing or two about twirling them stabbers. All in good time, though, Colt. All in good time. I needs me some new stabbers. And what's our next job? Okay, so basically up here, there's really not much of anything going on. There's like a yellow jacket you can bypass, so we're just gonna... Oh, there you are! We're gonna go along the ether... Oh wait, we were gonna quickly pick up that sightseeing log, because we found it. And it is a lookout. So it's I, Captain, till we give him the sack. Alright. Lookout. Yep, see? And there's the thing that appears when you get it. And then we jump off. Just kidding. We can't. And we can't jump off here either, can we? Nope. We Have to go the long way. Oh, never mind. We're good right there. Cool. Okay, so that's Fisher. Combat classes are going to take us out of town first. Where am I going? We need to go to the Octant for a couple of quests, and there's the closest Ethernet. Where dead men lay their bones. A ledger from Milvan's Gate, you say? It's just so catchy. If you have not listened to Sail North, please do so. Great, catchy, modern sea shanties. Yet more outstanding duty payments. When will those merchants ever learn? Very well, if I catch sight of any offenders, I shall drag them to the gate, kicking and screaming if needs be. One more ledger bound for the Bismarck, you say? Follow this path to the upper decks, and you'll find the place. Thank you for emoting me to go that way. I never would have found it. Alright. Janasim, you delivered the packages I requested? Very good. I shall pass on the sister's sentiments to my superior. What manner of services do the dutiful sisters provide? I'm quite sure an adventurer of your stature has already glimpsed the truth behind the facade. For a business such as ours, their presence in the city is incredibly reassuring. And then one more over here for Sweet Nick's Rosy Cheeks. Sweet Cheeks Rosy Nicks. Uplander delivered letter to Gate of Milvan. Uplander has wide heart and swift legs. Tax Lady Pataja has kind backwards for Sweetnix. Sweetnix has outflow of joy for Tax Lady Pataja. Sweetnix is happy gobby. Gives Uplander jingly shine. I do enjoy some good jingly shine. Okay. Then we go up here. Unsenwilf. Limsa Liminsa is a parade for a culinarian. By the grace of the pullers, we have the bounty of the sea close at hand. Ah, if there were only more bells in a day, I'd buy the whole guild's catch and cook to my heart's content. I am not forgetting about this. Which, no, never mind, we've already done this. Hala, oh no. What do you mean, wait? I see 3 open tables. Beg your pardons, good sir, but you're an adventurer, are you not? I realize this is sudden, but we urgently need help restocking our larders. We are in the midst of preparing a full-course meal for soon-arriving guests, but I fear we are short on fresh lamb for the main course, which, luckily, we will be going out to kill lambs eventually. I'd be grateful if you could procure 4 slices for us. I dare say it would be quickest to obtain these directly from the source. Wild lambs. In case you are unfamiliar with the creatures, I suggest you speak with Abelfar, a sentry stationed at Bulwark Hall, just below the Drowning Wench. Enough is never enough. She comes into play in later Rogue's quest, doesn't she? Matig Maga. The Bismarck has never been better than it is now, under Master Lingsath's direction. Even such dishes as folk consider simple are prepared with loving attention to detail. These days, all too few establishments strive for this level of excellence. She's not there for you? Really? We're at the same level on Rogue, aren't we? Or are you ahead of me? Kokorama. After the calamity, I never thought I'd... Whenever my business brings me back to Limsa, I treat my manservant to a hearty meal here at the Bismarck. 'Tis the least I can do to reward him for his excellent service. Gods know I pay the fellow little enough. Ha ha ha! Yeah. Ha ha ha. Paying people little is so hilarious. You have advanced a few quests for Rogue, but you're no shady guy. I know. It seemed a fitting place to say our farewells. Aww. They're breaking up. Alright, so Ingham. In spite of the prestige, the Bismarck also delivers meals to customers' door. Master Lingsath recently introduced this service, that folk unable to secure a reservation might still enjoy our cuisine. So you're Uber Eats, guild supplier, Letitia, tax evaders among our patrons, you say? Goodness me. I dare say this may well put an end to their appetite, but this is in the best interests of the city-state. If any of the merchants named in this ledger come to dine with us, I shall see that Milvan's Gate is notified without delay. Think I might start to become down sick. We spare no effort to ensure that our patrons enjoy the finest food and hospitality, and so it is doubly hurtful when someone decides to leave without settling the bill. Neria Bellico, a first-time patron, did just that. Risushmo is the one who lovingly prepared the man's meal. She's quite upset by the whole affair, and has taken it upon herself to draw an illustration of the offender. Might I trouble you to deliver it to the Yellow Jackets on our behalf? Risushmo should be done adding the finishing touches by now. I beg your pardons, good sir, but this is the Culinarians Guild. If you are here to dine at the Bismarck, one of the waiters outside will... one of our waiters will be along shortly to show you to your... Oh, you're not a patron? Might I assume then that you wish to become a culinarian? If so, I wholeheartedly recommend you join the Culinarians Guild, where one may learn the culinary arts under the finest chefs in all the realm. What say you? Wonderful. Then without further ado, I shall acquaint you with the history of our guild. As you are doubtless aware, Limsa has long been the gastronomic capital of Eorzea. The city's rich culinary tradition is the product of a unique combination of factors. The first is our proximity to fertile lands and plentiful seas of Vilbrand, which have ever yielded bounteous produce. The second is our standing as the realm's foremost trading port, which grants us access not only to exotic ingredients from faraway shores, but also to foreign merchants versed in their use. We are, in short, the beneficiaries of culinary knowledge from every corner of the world. Until recently, knowledge of this kind was passed on solely through word of mouth, and was therefore susceptible to corruption and loss. But all that changed when one man made it his mission to catalog every recipe of note. His name was Admiral Gwolskif Baldwinson, also known as Mast Cleaver. I think I'll just go with Mast Cleaver. The man's love of fine cuisine was such that at sea he would regularly spend as much time preparing meals in the galley as giving commands on the bridge. It was none other than he who founded the Culinarians Guild and codified cookology, or methodology. Gwolskif is... Stop it! Today the guild carries on Baldwinson's legacy, though the scope of our endeavors has expanded significantly. Not content with simply preserving existing recipes, we labor tirelessly to devise wholly novel culinary creations with which to delight the senses. To this end, our doors are open to folk from all walks of life, including adventurers such as your good self. One may liken our guild to a great pot of stew, with each member an ingredient imparting a unique flavor. As with every dish, however, adding ingredients willy-nilly is certain to spoil the taste. Before you take your place in the pot, you must be deemed a worthwhile addition to Guildmaster Limsa, a man whose passion for cookery burns hotter than any oven. Before troubling him, I must warn you that ours is truly a sweltering kitchen. As such, you would be well advised to ask yourself, can I stand the heat? I ask you earnestly, if you earnestly believe that you can, speak to me once more, and I shall be glad to guide you through the enrollment process. Which I do. I have to take 1 second, though, because I'm really struggling with this. Okay, yeah. My wife started coming down sick last night. I'm pretty sure I'm coming sick. This will come as no surprise, but he's the finest chef in Limsa. You'll find the guildmaster up the stairs yonder, keeping a watchful eye on his charges. Impress upon him your desire to learn, and he will surely find a place for you in his stew. By which, I mean the guild. 'Tis true what they say, you are what you eat. Sadly, most folk fail to pay due heed to their diet. I must confess to being one of them. So engrossed do I become in seeing others fed that I often go long stretches without feeding myself. Bunch of workers. And the special ingredient is love. I always wanted to say that. Good grief. Alright. So Risushmo. I poured my heart and soul into that grilled dodo. If I ever get my hands on that scoundrel, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. Underfed whelp with scrawny arms, he calls me. You're probably bigger than he is. Here it is, my rendition of the criminal. Please deliver it to Godbert at the Coral Tower. He will know what to do. Well met, venturer. I take it you want to join our guild. Let's have a look at you then. Ah, what an underfed whelp like you. What's an underfed whelp like you know about cooking? Judging by them scrawny arms of yours, you'd best struggle to lift a spoon. Never mind a skillet. Sir, lalas are naturally fat. Don't give me that. I jest. It don't take muscle to be a culinarian. It don't even take talent, at least not on its own. No, son, more than anything else, becoming a good cook boils down to passion. If you got that, there ain't nothing you can't achieve. So tell me, have you got it? I have, and I need one more thing. And I feel like I've gotten sick so much this year, it's ridiculous. That's the spirit. Your passion for culinary arts is plain to see. And you'll be needing every bit of it if you want to become a master culinarian. Why, if mastery was a 12-course dinner, I'd have hardly finished the soup. Make no mistake, our trade's as tough as old mutton, and passion's the only thing what gets us through the grisly bits. But enough talk. What do you call yourself? Well then, Eorzeon, welcome to the guild. To mark the occasion, I present you with your very own skillet. Ain't much to look at, but it'll more than serve a novice like yourself. Now then, let's see whether you can tell which end's which. It's the running joke, isn't it? I know I said you'd struggle to lift a spoon, but you've won me over. Now show me you can hold a skillet, and I'll get you started on your first task. Alright, we got the cully. Gotta get the skillet. Recommended gear, and we're gonna do that. And that's up and up. Okay, Limsa. I see you're holding the skillet the right way around. Good. A culinarian lives and dies by his utensils. Get that into your head before aught else, or a food'll look like crap and taste worse. Now let's see what you can do. For starters, I want you to make me maple syrup using your skillet. Have you guys ever made maple syrup in a skillet? Because I haven't. Recipes are as simple as they come. You need only two things. Maple sap and a fire shard. Jossie sells sap over at the guild counter. Now time's a-wasting, so get to work. And don't pay to keep folk waiting in our trade. He's tasked you with synthesizing a pot of maple syrup. There's a first for everything, right? I guess so. We need maple sap, just one. From the guild supplier. Maple sap is down at the bottom. One. Synthesize. And remember, all we can do is basic synthesis. And we're level 4. May as well make another one or two, though. So make sure that we get that level so we can start the level 5 quest. I don't have access to quick synthesis yet. Or we can make salt, by which he gives you for the turn-in. That's true. But it's already done. Alright. What are you waiting for? I told you to make me maple syrup, didn't I? The maple syrup's ready, is it? About time. Let's see how it tastes then. Oh, this ain't bad. Flavor's alright. Consistency's nearly there. In short, a sight better than a lot of novices manage. As you probably know, maple syrup's one of the most popular sweeteners around, and a key ingredient in all manner of cakes and treats. What you probably didn't know is that boiling the stuff down gets you maple sugar, a different sweetener with different uses. Just goes to show, even the simplest ingredients can have hidden complexities. I said earlier that a culinarian lives and dies by his utensils. Well, that's just the half of it. He also needs to know his ingredients, and that's some. It only comes with experience. Keep your nose to the stove and report back when you're ripe for another task. Which we are. Alright, you've come at a good time, Eorzeon. Just so happens I need your help with something. One of our chefs buggered up an order a bit ago, and he's been down on the dumps ever since. Ingham, his name is. Joined the guild a few months before you did. Determined lad, but don't take failure too well. Any road, we can't have him crying into his soup. Plays havoc with the seasoning, see? So I want you to try and cheer him up. Now, there's not like a good meal to take a man's mind off of his many failings. So, let me get this straight. He failed at making a dish, and you want me to go show him my masterful dish to show that he's okay? That's not just going to make him feel worse. Ugh, you did a good job. I didn't. A nice bit of grilled trout should do the trick. 'Tis one of his favorites. If he was to cook him up a plate of that, I reckon he'd find the experience highly motivating. The main ingredient, princess trout, can be had at the Hialine. As for Ingham, you'd find him working the kitchens. Prepare the dish and take it to him. Happy grilling. And the Hialine, by the way, is where? It's all the way down here. So we'll have to pick that one up on our way someplace. As for where we are now, we're up at the top, so we're just going to go out the guilds this way. Pick up the yellow quest, because we already grabbed the Ethernet, right? Yeah, we did. And then we'll hit up this yellow quest, grab the Marauder, and we'll be back for turning in that culinary quest. Morden. Your want for coin adventure? How'd you like to fancy... How do you fancy working at the Kraken's Arms, one of the greatest pirating crews in Limsa? If you're interested, take yourself up these steps to the balcony above and talk to Carvalane. Do right by him, and he'll do right by ye. So, actually, for the first time, I'm learning that Carvalane, who we will meet at other times, is part of the Kraken's Arms. There are oils which can help. I'm stiff as a rock. It sounds more suggestive than it is. Herbalist, who sells like some of the most random stuff. Alright. Carvalane and Gerald. I need 16 bags by the root of sunrise. Most folk think of Limsa as the city of pirates, but a new era has ushered in a new breed of buccaneer. Are you interested in hearing more? Tell me about Limsa's pirates. The city-state of Limsa was originally founded by the Sea Wolves, the most piratical of people hailing from the seas to the north. The nation rose from humble beginnings, building itself into one of the 6 great cities in Eorzea. And how was that accomplished, you might ask? Why, on a treasury filled by a folk that never relinquished its penchant for looting and pillaging. Although Limsa's population grew larger and ever more diverse as immigrants drifted in from across the seas, piracy remained the mainstay of its industry. Thus did the city become known as a haven for brigands and bandits of all kinds. Tell me about the Admiral's Pirate Initiative. As a citadel of scoundrels, Limsa was held in low regard by the other cities of the realm. And while such perspectives may have proven irrelevant in former ages, when conflict between the nations was commonplace, this new era demanded the Eorzeans band together or perish. Thus it was that Admiral Merlwyb outlawed piracy and put a call out for all citizens of Limsa, pirate or not, to present a unified front to their enemies. A pact known as the Galadian Accord was signed, and the nation went to war against the Empire. As part of this agreement, the 3 great pirate powers, the Bloody Executioners, which are on the Astalicia, we were there, the Sanguine Sirens, and the Kraken's Arms, who are here, were issued leave to raid the vessels of the Guardians. Okay. So a unified pirate front. Business with the captain. Greetings, friend, and welcome to the 7th Sage, purveyors of the finest spices from the east. Okay, fits thematically why there's a spice person. Herbalist. All of our products are guaranteed obtained through completely legal means. Oh, and you do not seek spices but employment? Well then, let us speak of how you might be of service to our organization. Our Misery returned from her latest voyage bearing exotic spices never before seen in Eorzea. I have prepared 2 samplers, each of which I would have you deliver to certain individuals. The first is for Janaid, whom you will find at the Coral Tower. The second is for Master Lingsath, the head of the Bismarck, which we'll go back to. And do make certain the right person gets the right set. Go now and return here once you have accomplished the task. But first, we'll pick up Marauder. Guess what? Yeah, okay. The airship landing and stuff is done. So we did grab all of these. Alright. Janaid, welcome to the headquarters of the Yellow Jackets, the keepers of the peace in Limsa. Is there anything I can assist you with? Yes, you can take these spices. A sample of spice courtesy of the 7th Sage, you say? There's no mistake. This is fire sand, and the kind used by Guardians besides. Quite intriguing. Very well, we will consider placing an order. Oh, you thought you had brought me spice? I see you're not familiar with the Carvalanisms. For the sake of convenience, he uses the word spice to refer to literally anything he has procured on the high seas. Lest you worry, the man isn't engaged in any activity that is considered piracy. Far from it. Think of him as a trader, a heavily armed one, who represents Liminsan interests in eastern lands. So, a pirate. An alarming number of citizens have gone missing of late, though I suspect you've already heard the rumors. It is essential that we ascertain their safety. To this end, I have prepared a list based on reports from our citizens. Would you be so kind as to deliver it to my colleague in Bulwark Hall? Nadelica is her name. My thanks in advance, friend. Alright, what you got for me, Blauthoda? Oh there, adventurer. Curious about the Marauders Guild, are you? Of course. Any axe worth wielding needs 2 hands on the haft as a blade and has a blade what can chop clean through a galley's mast. That's the kind of weapon our members train to use with deceptive swiftness and brutal force. If you're of a mind to make the Marauder's art your life's work, then join our guild then our guild welcomes you with open arms. What say you, lad? Keen to join our ranks? Yes! Well then, here's a bit of guild history so you know what you're getting into. It all started with ships, you see. What have ships got to do with axes, you ask? Well, building them would be pretty difficult without a sturdy tool to lop down trees for timber. Huh. Fair enough. And since only the navigator herself knows when a ship will run afoul of a storm or worse, it makes sense for the crew's carpenter to carry an axe on board. But any tool on a ship can become a weapon, and the axe is perfect for hooking yourself over the rail of an enemy vessel, letting loose in a whirl of steel, and generally laying waste to all about you. As more seafarers took up the axe as their weapon of choice, so did the bloody art of the marauder begin to take shape, especially among pirates, where strength and skill decided your place in the world. With an eye to assembling crews of battle-ready raiders, the pirates started teaching the proper way to wield a chopping blade to their new recruits. And that's how the Marauders Guild first came to be. After the Galadian Accord was signed, though, the Marauders Guild was never the same. It was taken over, resurrected, and purged of its pirate elements. It had been reborn as an institution dedicated to naught but the teaching of axe fighting. The members of this new Marauders Guild weren't no greed-driven cutthroats neither. They were warriors that sought to use their martial prowess for the good of society. Still keen, are you? Think it over, then let me know if you decide to join our ranks. You've decided then? You're ready to join the Marauders Guild? Alright then. All that needs doing now is to speak with Axemaster himself. Sounds simple? I've seen folks slink out of the door rather than put themselves in the path of that unnerving glare. That's the bloke right there in the middle of the room. Eorzeon's his name. Put some steel on your spine and look him straight in the eye when you talk to him, lad. Good fortune to you. A bilker at the Bismarck, you say? And you have an artist's rendition of the man? What is this supposed to be? It looks more like the prow of a ship than a man's face. Look, we would like nothing more than to bring the offender to justice. 'Tis our duty after all. However, we need a little bit more to go on than this piece of art. It would be the easiest for all involved if Rasushmo were to come here and answer some questions. Please relay to her as such. Y'all so lazy. Alright, Rainer, what you got for me? As Commodore of the Yellow Jackets, it is my duty to ensure the peace and security of Limsa. Oh, okay. Commodore of the Yellow Jackets. The lives and livelihoods of her citizens are my primary concern. Whee! Might be a couple of nights in the brig will learn you. Bloody recruits. It won't happen again. Alright, we're in zone. Yes, I'm Eorzeon, Axemaster they call me. Not the most imaginative titles, I agree, but one should not underestimate the value of directness. I welcome your interest in our guild. The art of the Marauder is used to rend, to cleave, and to destroy. It is not our way to simply outfight our adversaries. We seek to overwhelm them. A Marauder must be the most powerful and enduring presence on the battlefield. We must account for the most enemies defeated. Our role in combat is that of steel whirlwind, dealing death and destruction without equal. No doubt the question has already been put to you by Blauthota, but once more I challenge your commitment. Are you prepared for the bloody carnage that awaits an initiate of the Marauders Guild? Yes. Very well. Your name? Attend me well, then, Eorzeon. Hold fast to this moment of dedication. The path of the Marauder is a jagged and perilous one. The blood that spills at your feet will oft-times be your own, but that won't bother us in one bit. I present to you this axe as a symbol of your commitment. Your first lesson shall be how to hold it. Now grip the haft with both hands and set yourself in a solid stance. Alright. Boom. And then we're going to do another gear set. I do wish that the assign set number thing would just like insert, but it just swaps with whatever's there. So that doesn't actually help anything. Ah, you cut a striking figure, Eorzeon, but heroic posing is unlikely to cut a swath through your enemies. You stand now as a student of the axe. Let us waste no time in testing the edge of your chosen weapon. You shall wade straightway into combat as befits a novice of your discipline. Go forth and slay the bleeding, scurrying, crawling pests that plague the outskirts of Limsa. Lost lambs, wharf rats, and little ladybugs shall be your piteous adversaries this day. Return to me once 3 of each creature have fallen to your blade. Alright. We will also go down in the basement of this place at some point. A background check? Admiral's decree. You have a problem, take it up with her. We will skip that for now. A treat of trout. So in order to make that one work, we need the fish from the Hyalene, though. So maybe we'll take a quick pit stop at the aft castle. Grab something from the Hyalene. And then we'll just go back to where we were, turn in that quest, and continue on down through the Drowning Wench and the aft castle. Alright. 30 barrels, do you? Not caught again. What does this guy say? Me ship needs all the salted cod you can spare. Alright, so we needed a princess trout, was it? Dang, I can't remember. Where's that quest? Okay, a treat of trout. A grilled trout. Wait. Grilled trout. What? There we go, okay. Princess trout and table salt. Okay. Alright, so we will hit the Ethernet back to the Bismarck. We'll pick up a table salt. Well, Cena's already on top of it with her table salt. You can make it. Table salt, rock salt. I am not a culinarian at the moment, so we're gonna do that. Fine, if you want to be all optimal. Who would do such things? Grilled trout was a level 5 thing. There it is, okay. Yes, me. Look, sometimes my brain is going faster than I can optimize, okay? Alright, the Bismarck, the Culinarians Guild. Turn in this trout and the other quest as well. Alright, Ingham, this is how a real man cooks. What is it, a grilled trout for me? Why, yes, I am quite fond of the dish, but what have I done to deserve it? You done screwed up, son. Screw up more often. The guildmaster thought it would be cheer me up? Well, meaning as though he may be, food is not the solution to every woe. But come, let us see your handiwork. It is my duty as your senior to give you counsel after all. Sir, you've been working here for a couple of months. Don't even give me that. Surely not. You made this? Truly? The aroma. It's delightful. Where'd all this other stuff come from? All I had was a fish and salt. And the skin, ever so slightly charred, just as it should be. 12 saved me. The thought of sinking my teeth into that crispy layer and tasting the tender flesh beneath. Beg pardons. As I was saying, this is quite impressive. In fact, I doubt even the guildmaster would be able to fault it. Trust me, I know. But I don't understand it. You've been here scarcely long enough to learn syrup making, yet you're already capable of this? You know how long it took me to achieve the same? 6 bleeding moons! I'm so utterly devoid of talent? No, I will not be outdone by a mere novice. I refuse to be outdone. My apologies. I thank you for the trout, and would have you accept this knife from me. Use it in conjunction with your skillet, and your cooking experience will be much enhanced. Do not mistake it for a gift. It is payment for the trout, nothing more. Besides, it would give me no pleasure to get better of a man who wasn't properly equipped. Now leave me be. I have stock to take. We know that. And the monies. We are not going to take the level 10 quest right now. But we do have to report in. A new sample from the 7th Sage? Aye, let's have a whiff of it then. Ain't nothing like it before. The note came with it, says it's a root what's grown on Authard. Last I heard, Authard was under Imperial rule. When did Carvelane manage to get a hold of this? And he wrote, I reckon I can cook up something with it. Thanks for the delivery, friend. You're welcome. See, spoken with Godbert? Haha, within the bell, the Yellow Jackets will have that swindling scoundrel locked in a dungeon cell, and then I'll take my filleting knife and... My filleting knife? Godbert wants me to go to the Coral Tower for questioning? But what's more information? What more information does he want than my drawing that doesn't already provide? Isn't a picture supposed to paint 1,000 words? You are not a pictomancer yet, sir. Sir, ma'am. And then we'll report to Carvelane. And then we will run south through Limsa. Welcome back. It would seem both samples were rather well received, and this is in no small part due to our affable courier. It's 100% due to your affable courier. 'Tis unfortunate, but notoriety accumulated over the course of the years does not fade overnight. There are many still who are hesitant to do business with savage pirates. Yet the old days of piracy have passed, giving way to a new wave of opportunity. My crew and I have decided to embrace this wave. With the Admiral's... Why do I keep saying admirable? With the Admiral's blessing, we engage in a form of trade with Guardian ships. Everything we do, you may rest assured, is within the law. That's very convincing. This guy has a secret. You think? Cut him, dog. Cut him. I'd like to see you try. You're gonna let him push you around like that, love? A trade. A trade of blows, probably. Nice. You know his secret, and I'm assuming you're talking about more than just... He's obviously not just trading with Guardians. I assume you're referring to later stuff. Let's see. You're the barmaid. I'll say it again. Your cares and troubles. You'll be taking the contents of your innards with you, or you'll not find the wench so welcoming on your next visit. Yes, yes. Bateron we've talked to. He gave us a mission to go to Sestasha, and that also led into Copperbell. I don't know that we talked to Nania, though. The drowning wench will always be a favorite among pirates. She's cheap, she's loaded with grog, and she never says no. I feel like that's worse than it is. It's been a favorite haunt of adventurers for nigh on 20 years, ever since a retired freelance and his comrades established the Adventurers Guild here. Singing Stormcloud. Singing, literally. Yeah, I'm not singing for you. I'm sick. Welcome to the Drowning Wench. You need anything, just give me a shout. The Drowning Wench, that's a little morbid, isn't it? This guy is part of the starting quest in Limsa, Nania. Oh, cool. And he has a side quest for you. Nania or Carveling? Morbid? Huh, only if you think the lass is drowning in water. The name has more to do with the sinful amounts of ale than aught else, and that's how the sailors and scoundrels like it in here. We see more than a few of you adventurer types as well, and he keeps Bateron busy wiping noses and handing out advice to the greenhorns. He could never resist taking in the strays. Nania has a side quest for you. What is it? Yep, sickness. Alright, Gregory. If it is rumors or like-minded fellows you seek, then you have made the right choice in coming to this tavern. It's as a lodestone for all manners of travelers and explorers. Man. More information. Fool me once is the quest name. Interesting. FF14, Fool me once. Let's see. According to Nania, the sentry stationed at the Eyes in Lower Lenosha have turned to adventurers when they have too much work. Venture outside and speak with Ancreta to learn more. It's just part of Lamentson's side quests. Interesting. I don't know. Okay. And Quintanane we talked to. Most seafarers or bloke meats are rougher than a barnacled hull, but these lemons and scrags are something else. Suppose I should expect not less from a city what was founded by pirates. And Saboji has a side quest, Glory Days. Interesting. Maybe it's because you've done other quests, because there was a quest requirement listed on the wiki. But see, this slip says I will give you the Jingly Shine when I get it. No Jingly Shine, no busy deal. And then we run over to just check out the Maelstrom headquarters. Because I will never come here except for, like, Leviathan. This is Maelstrom Command. If you're expecting a handheld tour of the facilities, you'd best look elsewhere. What do you do, Storm Mage? You enchant the Sanction, that's right. And Rashat. I guess you do have small talk. We of the Maelstrom do not jest when we say, till sea swallows all. The soldiers in our company fight till the very last breath, the very last drop of blood. Are we chained by these words? Nay, it is a freedom in which all who join our ranks learn. And then, let's see, nothing else really except Hunt Billmaster, all the usual stuff. We can access the company chest here, though, even though we're all done. Yep. Just curious. It does not discriminate. Alright. Let's see what's up here. This is generally where you'll have like events and stuff. You'll come down a little bit to the aft castle. We aren't just making any coin just sitting here, and I say there's go for the taking in Limsa. There's more than enough profit in Thanalan. Alright, Okalkia. If you're looking for a place to wet your whistle, Scrag, I'd advise you turn tail and run. Captain Eorzeon's in no mood to be entertaining customers this morning, and even when she is, she ain't particularly good at it. Though maybe dealing with a customer is a sort of crap that she might shake her from her doldrums. But if you mean to venture inside the missing member, you best go remember to pay your proper respects to the captain. Lest you ain't afraid of going missing, kneeling before her would be a good start. So I wonder if this is the third group that they had talked about. I have a problem with what? Why are we sitting like this? You see any bleeding chairs? And then we can give you a problem. Problem of what? Interesting. No cocoa. Greetings and welcome to the missing member. No, really, all people are welcome to dine here. There is absolutely no danger of dismemberment. Yeah, I believe you. I smells me a man. The sirens don't have time for men unless they's warm in our beds. Wow. Like the axe, why not step for a closer look? So, yep, these are the sirens, and they are an all-women's crew. Unless the menfolk are doing other things. What do you want, Drylander? We're closed. Oh, that's right, I have to kneel. I'm kneeling on a chair, but still. Oh, you know his place. Good. If only the Krakens had the same sense of propriety. They keep seizing every Garlean ship before we can take a crack at them. 'Tis a sorry state of affairs when your crew's reduced to preying on the leavings of that mangy bunch of man-boys. My younger self would be downright disappointed as to how far we've fallen. Disappointed. That's my disappointed. Oh my goodness. I gotta do that again. So you do know something of me pain, but your sympathy ain't worth more than a pint of pee. It's well and good, but that we got the Admiral's permission to capture Garlean ships. But what's the use if you keep getting beat by your prey? We built our reputation reaving right off the coast of Vilbrand, not sailing a dozen moms into the bleeding sea. The few Imperial dogs found in Limsa territory get snatched by the Krakens, hunting in open waters. I rallied me crew's spirits when I said we were reviving the old ways, but after all of our struggles, they seemed resigned to letting those guys have all the fun. Lawlers are so dramatic with their animations, they love it. Yes, we so are. This one in particular, I rallied me crew. I gotta see this though, like, disappointed. Oh, that's awesome. Alright, rally is like a punch. I love it. Huh, you trying to make light of me, Dilemma? Don't push your luck, Scrag, or I'll get you with a hook, like a regular pirate. Wait, that's it. We're pirates, so we should think like pirates. Bugger keeping the Limsa water safe. We'll raid supply shipments to the Garlean outposts along the coast of Aldenard. Yeah, the Rogadin one is very disappointed. It's because you have longer to go, further to go down. It's so simple. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Thanks to your unintended inspiration, Scrag. To think I almost had you fed to the sharks. Alright, what you got for me, Abroka? Captain Eorzeon's led the Sanguine Sirens to the top of the food chain here in Limsa. You want to join the meanest crew on the sea? Then you'd best bloody your cutlass and thicken your hide. Yeah, like, look at that. You're, like, absolutely dejected. I'm not giving you a choice. Get this boy another plate of oysters. I don't think I could bear another night. A night doing what, my friend? Oh, there's just, like, a vista out here. What's the view? It's actually kind of pretty. Whee! Alright, and then there's one out here, too. Less pretty. Oh, wait. There's another one of them bed warmers. Alright. Okalkia. I gather your meeting with the captain went well? I could hear the cackling all the way out here. Well, whatever you did, thank you for doing it. Last thing we need was for her to go on another rampage, ruining deck swabs and leaving us with less meat. Tain't easy playing by the Admiral's rules, but if anyone can find a way, Captain Eorzeon can. Alright, what are you up to? You wish to sing me a song of your deeds? Don't tell me you've not heard of Thal Icebound. I certainly haven't heard of Thal Icebound. Should I have? So this will go into Lower Lenosha. It's called the Lowlands, but we start up all the way up here. If the Zephyr Gate is the sweet breath of the gods, then I suppose Tempest Gate is the violent wind from the other end. And then Delivery Moogle, Arms Bender, Link Shield Distributor, Calamity Salvager, Recompense Officer. Alright, time to get our Blacksmith and Armory on. Swithin. It's true that a powerful rivalry exists between armors and smithies, but it is not a contest born of spite. Our guilds will soon lay aside their differences to work together on a large commission, such as, say, a warship. That's not to say there isn't the occasional squabble, of course. I've been thinking much about the ships these past days, and you know, I don't believe Limsa would be the nation she is now without them. Can you imagine how much that would affect fishing, trade, naval defense? All those vessels are constructed by skilled armorers and smithies, so if you think Limsa has as a ship, you might consider such artisans to be the sturdy keel on which the rest of the city is built. Alright, Hananza. A new boat for the Fisherman's Guild. I'm afraid now isn't the best time. You see, we have recently taken on a commission for a galleon. This task already has our hands full. Like I was talking about, the armorers and blacksmiths as ship builders. But look, I'll see what I can do. The Fisherman's Guild has long been one of our best clients, and I would be loath to disappoint Sisipu. It may take a while, but I shall endeavor to have her boat ready in a timely fashion. Alright. Interested in need of some trifling tasks to pass the time? Then I have just the job for you. Bateron is offering a reward to any adventurer who slays at least 5 wharf rats. There's no shortage of the pests lurking outside the Tempest Gate, so you should hurry and take advantage of this opportunity. Cool, thanks for letting me know. Why couldn't Bateron just tell me? Alright, we got double guild receptionists. We'll start with Randwolf. Unless you're blind and deaf, I presume you've wandered into our forge of your own accord, drawn by the siren song of our smithy's hammers, no doubt. In these here hallowed halls, Limsa's finest pound metal into all manner of tools and weapons. And when I say Limsa's, I mean the whole realms. Make no mistake, you need more than a big arm to join our ranks. Well, Guyman's got that covered, I do not. But if you got iron in your veins and Builder's blessing, speak up. I guess I do. You're not short on confidence. I'm just short on everything else. But you do truly know what you're getting into here, lad. Oh, there are messages I'd been missing. Ro acts like they've lost their wife, their kids, their home, and all of their gil for the disappointed thing. I get all dizzy in that. And also the cheese. The cheese! Explain the cheese! Ours is a trade born in blood and brine. For as long as pirates have sailed the Rutano, smithies have forged their weapons and fitted their ships from keel to cannon. Of course, till sea swallows all ain't just an idle saying. Brine will eat through even the stoutest iron given time, and our forebears long struggled to forge more rust-resistant alloys. Luckily for us, the smithies of Eld were a determined bunch, and a clever too, so when they learned that the kobolds knew something of advanced metallurgy, they smithies set out to make it their own. Thanks to the kobolds' wisdom, which they generously gifted us with only the merest hint of piratey prompting, Lamentin smithing came on leaps and bounds. It wasn't long before the Gridanians and Uldans started eyeing our knowledge like we did the kobolds, though, and so some 150 odd years ago, 2 particularly forward-thinking men named Theor Naldic and Bryce Vimelli had the bright idea of establishing a respectable business. Being fair-minded fellows, they'd sell their wares to anyone who had the coin, pirates and foreigners included, and when the folks weren't inclined to pay, they made sure to remind them that we hadn't completely forsaken our pirate ways. Times have changed, though, and we're a wee bit more willing to share our wisdom these days. The company's been running the blacksmiths and armorers guilds for years now, welcoming any soul with the necessary talent and will to work. As to whether you've got enough of either, well, that's for the Forge Master to decide. Speak to me when you're ready to present yourself to him. Am I going to have to hear this whole lesson again when I talk to this one too? That's the spirit. If you'd taken any longer to decide, I'd have told you to bugger off no matter what you said. Can't have a half-butted adventurer wasting Forge Master Berthael's precious time, see? He's got lots of iron in the fire. That's why me and the other lads got a point of keeping idlers, imbeciles, and otherwise unqualified from getting in his way. And he wrote, it's time you went and paid your respects to the man. He's the one over yonder making a face like he's carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. Whew! Good grief, that was long. Sound of hammering bringing you in from the street, did it, lad? It's well that you've find the din inviting, for the Armorers Guild is not the place for quiet reverie. If the clangor of metal striking metal is music to your ears, mayhap you'll have the spirit of a shipwright. And you have a mind to join our guild? Take it from me, lad, there's no greater joy than working a shapeless lump of iron into a shining breastplate with your own hands. What say you then? Here we go. Well said. Now, should we cover a bit of guild history before forging ahead with the formalities? The armorer's craft is an offshoot of blacksmithing. Time was when armorers and smithies were one and the same, but as the years trickled by, the techniques for working sheet metal into armor plates became a specialized trade, and the smithies who showed uncommon skill and passing for this trade earned themselves the title of armorer. Now, as you can probably imagine, the skills necessary for making armor are also needed for shipbuilding, but building ships is a bit harder than knocking out simple helms, which led those armorers who were good enough to work on boats to claim the title of shipwright. Of course, it was one thing calling yourself armorers, blacksmiths, and shipwrights armorers, but it was quite another calling shipwrights blacksmiths, because building a ship and making a hatchet couldn't be more different. It seemed as though there was a line needed drawing, and seeing how Limsa was built on the strength of our navy, you can imagine why the armorers chose to cut their ties with the smithies and establish a guild of their own. As for the smithies, well, the whole nation of an independent armorers guild never did sit well with them. The whole notion, and there's been a fair old rivalry between the two factions ever since. Anyways, always trying to outdo each other they are, which is why we are on the lookout for new talent to help keep the smithies in their place. All you need to do is impress our forge master, and we can start you on your training. And yet they take applications right here, next to each other, bad-mouthing each other. Be warned, Forge Master Hananza's tongue could strip the scales off a fishback at 40 paces. Saying that, you won't find a fairer mistress this side of the Strait of Merlthor. Let me know when you've mustered the courage to speak with her, and I'll see to the rest. Oh my goodness. I wanted to add that we will join both guilds at the same time, right? Then it's time you made yourself known to the Forge Master. There's no empty title, by the way. Hananza is a renowned shipwright and one of the finest crafters in Limsa. Head outside and find her blistering the skins of our newest initiates. Oh, buddy. Get them winkers off for me. Formate Doug's... I gotta try this again. Get them winkers off me, forge mates Dugs, for I renders you black and blue. I wasn't even touching anything. Ain't no one blink an eye if you go and stick your manhood in the forge. What? This is harder than it looks. Good grief. I don't even know what to think of this place right now. Okay. Brithale. About time Randwolf sent me a new recruit. It's been too long. I'm Brithale, Forge Master of the Blacksmiths Guild. If you're aiming to become a smithy worthy of name, 'twould be my great pleasure to educate you on the finer points of the craft. Oh, the rest of these sour-faced guys will tell you it's hard, grueling work fit for only the best and brightest. But I say put a hammer in the hands of the willing and see what happens. What do you say then, lad? Are you willing to swing a hammer for old Brithale? I knew I liked you the moment I set eyes on you. What'd you say your name was again? Eorzeon Explosion. A name fit for a hero if ever I heard one. Let's just pause on that. In fact, I reckon I did hear it in a bard's song once. Or was it that poor sod cursing in his cups of the wench? Don't matter if it was saving the world or bedding someone's mother. 'Tis time to forge yourself a new reputation. Pound out a new legend. That was poorly placed right after saying bedding someone's mother. And you can trust old Brithale to help you do it. But there I go, putting the cart before the chocobo. Here, lass, take this crosspeen hammer. A smithy without a hammer is like me without a drink. Bloody useless. But don't just stand there gawping at her. Take her in your hands, have a few practice swings. Whatever you fancy. She's all yours now. What I wouldn't give to be you right now, lad. A smithy never forgets his first hammer. Sniff. I can't tell if that sniff was him smelling or him, reminiscing and, it brings a tear to the eye. Oh. It takes so long to unlock classes. No wonder people just skip through, you know? Oh, that's right, I gotta equip the hammer. I really do think blacksmith and armor don't need to be different. And their weapons, their tools are so similar. And everything that they make is so similar. Alright, and then we'll get a new... Move it up. Up. Now there's a beautiful sight. Never forget, a smithy's hammer is his one true love. Friends will betray you, lovers will leave you, but your hammer will never do you wrong. There is so much text. Yeah, I mean, it's great for getting, the lore and stuff behind it, but, you have 20 of these things to unlock, you know? 30 something classes altogether? It's nuts. Seeing you standing there reminds me of a less ale-sodden version of me younger self. But on to your task. We ain't a congregation of soft-handed scholarlies here. Smithies learn by doing. Try your hand at making a bronze ingot. Any smithy worth his salt's got to master the fundamentals, and you can't get more fundamental than that. It ain't complicated. Bronze is just copper and tin melted down and mixed together. So you'll be needing? Aye, that's it. Copper and tin ore. And seeing as most folk don't carry that stuff like that around with them, around without reason. Smidhammer outside can provide you with some, for a price that is. What the lad can't sell you, though, is the fire shard you'll need. It ain't complicated, but that doesn't mean it's easy. You need to melt the metals after all, and to do that, you'll need to get them hotter than a flame-kissed... Nope. And that's all there is to it. Think you can handle it, lad? Does the other person actually just sell a bronze ingot? So there's one guild supplier. So that's a brass ingot. No, they don't. Okay. Almost got canceled. I mean, I did. So I have tin ore. I do 2 copper. It's probably going to be the same thing for the other quest, to be honest. Synthesize. Oh, that's right. I can do it in one. Since I'm here, I may as well talk to Hananza. Another aspiring armorer, are you? Welcome. I am Hananza, Forge Master of this guild. I take it Gowanako has explained to you the history and nature of our craft? Good. I have little to add on that front. Thank you. Save this. The life of an armorer is not an easy one. Day after day, you will pit flesh and blood against iron and flame, and not without passion for the forge, you will fail. Oh, and without it, you will fail. But passion alone will not make an armorer of you. To truly master this craft, you must be possessed of a will as unyielding as the metals you work. Knowing what lies before you, you have the fortitude to persevere. Ah, I see you have no fear of hard work. That is well. Consider your request to join the guild approved. But if you ever give me aught less than your best, you will be at the door before you realize my boot has connected with your backside. Are we clear on that? Good. Now that we understand each other, let us begin with the basics. What is your name? Eorzeon? Very well, Eorzeon. This tool is called the doming hammer. Here, grip it firmly. Note its weight. Let me know when you feel comfortable with it in your hand. I'll tell you if you're holding it properly. I'm already holding a hammer, woman. It's just slightly different. Alright, equip this hammer. Recommended gear still. Gear set. Plus, we're getting so many of these. And up. And yep, there we go. Alright. She wants me to make a bronze ingot. Yes, if I didn't know better, I'd think you were an armorer, Eorzeon. Of course I do not know better. Or I do know better. Until you craft something with that hammer of yours, you will look like a babe with a rattle to me, and I have no intention of mothering you. Make no mistake, I mean to shape you into an artisan, however hard I have to pound. Again, poorly worded after what we've seen. Save your sweat for the forge, lad. I don't expect you to fashion full suits of plate on your first day. Just pay close attention to my instructions, be diligent in your work, and your skill will come in due time. Now let's be about your first lesson, shall we? I want you to take up your hammer and make me a bronze ingot. Oh my goodness, where did... I never saw that coming. A mundane task, I grant you, but one which every armorer must master. Bronze, you see, is the most basic material to craft, and bronze ingots are its building blocks. 'Tis not the strongest of alloys, of course, but it is that very quality that makes it so easy to shape and the metal of choice for a novice armorer. To forge your ingot, we'll need to procure 2 chunks of copper ore, a chunk of tin ore, and an ice shard. The ore can be... So wait, I need an ice shard to make a bronze ingot? When I need a fire shard so that I can make a bronze ingot, so that I can make it hotter than a... We're not going to talk about it. The ore can be purchased from Somruwib here at the guild. The ice shard you'll have to find on your own. Well, are you waiting for me to swing your arm for you? Or mayhap you would have me swing my boot? You know what? I already have a bronze ingot, so here, have it, woman. Where's the bronze ingot I asked for? If you can't find the ore yourself, try speaking with whatever. Completed your first task, have you? Well then, let's have a look at this ingot. So this is the sort of quality I can expect from you, is it? For novice armor, this is excellent work. Excellent. Well done, Eorzeon. How does she see out of these? Like, what the junk? The key to making good bronze is judging the ratio of copper to tin. With too much tin, the alloy becomes harder, but also more brittle. Not the sort of material you want to protect your vital organs. Lest you forget, quality is a matter of life and death in our craft, which is why we teach our initiates the ideal metallurgic composition of every item we forge. Not all are quick to learn. There are some who seem destined to produce mediocre results, however painstakingly the processes are explained. Yeah, don't let her hear that I made it with a blacksmith. Good point. Thank the builder that you are not one of them. Yeah, this was definitely not made with an ice shard. I am pleased to say that your ingot would fetch a decent price in the markets. But do not let this first success make you complacent. A single bad helm will lose you more trust than 100 good ones will win, because bad armor means dead men. It's not enough that your work be good. It must needs be consistently good. Actually, there is a valid point there. Like, 100 compliments does not make up for like one person like tearing you apart. Like, I'm talking about words here, people. This is a life lesson. And achieving that consistency requires discipline and long hours of crafting the same item over and over again and again. For you, this means a mountain of bronze ingots. Bronze ingots in your dreams. Bronze ingots until the process is so ingrained that you wake up and find that your pillow is an ingot you made in your sleep. When you feel you have learned all you can from forging bronze ingots, seek me out and I will teach you something else to craft. May the builder guide your hand, Eorzeon. And I'm also going to do the blacksmith ingot as an armorer. I'll teach you that you don't need to make it as hot as whatever we are ignoring. Alright, so I need 2 more copper ore. So, interestingly enough, we learn from Final Fantasy XIV that a bronze ingot is made from 2 copper ore and 1 tin ore. But RuneScape teaches us that it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So now, I don't know what to believe. Yeah, it does not sound comfortable as a pillow. You are so right. Although, at this point, I have a hard time sleeping on anything, so I would try it. Guild Wars 2 says it's 10-to-1? 10? That seems absurd. Come on. Remember to make a bronze ingot, blah, 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 blah. Heh, you're alright, lad. Better than that, even. Sure you ain't done this before? Oh, well, I have done this before. Because honestly, this ain't what you'd expect from an adventurer fresh off the street. I think you might be a bleeding natural, lad. It just takes the right balance of metals to produce bronze suitable for weapons and tools. But this ingot you made me, lad, is on par with them as our veterans produce. You could take down to Hawker's Alley and find a buyer in no time. Barragot's watching over thee. Yee, ain't no doubt about it. You got a natural talent, but don't let it go to your head. I've seen plenty of folk get drunk on early success, only to puke their guts up later because they forgot that talent's worth bugger all without hard work and dedication. Hey, you might get 3 gil for that ingot. So I tell you what, keep it simple for now, lad. Practice the fundamentals till you can smelt bronze in your sleep. I feel like we just heard this lesson. And when you've gained the kind of confidence that only comes with experience, come back and I'll teach you something new. Bronze bedding. Bronze chairs. Oh, that's right. We need to make more ingots if we want the level 5 quest. Which we do. We do. I'm gonna need some tin. I'm just gonna grab like 4 and 8. Wait, I have copper ore out the waz. Okay, level 5. Cool. High quality items again. I need to switch to armorer and crafty 1. I didn't level up? Sad. And I know why. It's because I unlocked armorer 2nd. So I got experience for that. Eorzeon, I take it you're now intimate with every aspect of bronze ingots production? Good, then you can assist us in a pressing matter. It seems that one of our young members, Swithin, accepted an order which he would struggle to fill in thrice the time he promised. While I am tempted to let him squeal under the weight of his own ambition, the guild is not in the habit of delivering late. I made an ingot with both. Yeah. Yeah, so I did one on each. Several veteran armorers have volunteered their services, but I would like you to assist in this matter. On the one hand, you will be helping to spare the guild unnecessary embarrassment, and on the other, you will have deepening your understanding of the craft. The builder could not have planned it better. Y'all, do you know how difficult it is to try to watch 3 separate chats in 2.5 different places? And also read the text. For your part in this endeavor, you are to craft 3 bronze hoplons. You'll need bronze plate and maple lumber to make the shields. While we're on the subject, have you been acquiring materials? How have you? The markets are a reliable source, but have you considered making an arrangement with a miner or botanist? As you have gleaned, the craft calls for a near constant supply of copper and tin, both of which are commonly mined in the region of Thanalan. Should your purse grow too light or For comfort, there's a little to stop you from taking up the pickaxe yourself. For the time being, however, I want you to be concentrated on honing your skills with an armor. With the fundamentals under your belt, the hop-on shouldn't prove too challenging. But do not fall into the trap of complacency. A poorly wrought shield is worse than no shield at all. Each piece you craft, however simple, must reflect the utmost attention to detail. Make the guild proud, Eorzeon. Oh, I knew you were doing that too, and I only saw the notification on the right side, so I read it backwards. By just using two chats for splitting the message, I can make it more confusing. Actually, that works either way. Oh, I think about it. Freeze, I swear, you're gonna be the death of me. Bronze hop-ons. So I need 2 bronze plates and a maple lumber. What can I actually buy here? The maple lumber, I believe. Yep, there was maple lumber. They sell like the same stuff. Oh, I can also buy bronze plates here though. So I'm just gonna do 6 of those. Okay. Time for some hop-ons. Let's hop along. We are actually just about to finish up with Limsa. There's like a tiny little bit left of the map to explore, like this area right here. And then we're gonna finish up with, wait, I still need to do hop-ons. These quests, and then we're gonna call it for the day, because we will have done both Gridania and Limsa. Then we'll have to pop over to Ul'dah to both see about unlocking the remaining jobs, classes, whatever. Dang it, I keep doing this. And see if we can get to the point where we unlock daily provisioning, so we can level up these crafters and gatherers without having to do all this work. Because it's work. How far are you with your task? Do you have those 3 hop-ons for me? I sure do. Impressive. You managed to balance the conflicting requirements of sturdiness and portability, much as your balanced hardness and malleability in your first task. The bronze plate is securely fitted and should weather the most vicious blows without becoming dislodged. And importantly, your work has been swift and sure. Many an armorer has lost a sale due to late delivery, and rightly so. A customer's need for armor is invariably pressing, and absence like to be sorely felt. Given the stakes, a reputation for reliability can mean handsome profits, especially at a time when the Maelstrom is seeking armorers to outfit its ever-expanding ranks. It's all we can do to keep pace with the Grand Company's order for equipment. And that's why every member of the guild must support the next, much as the warriors of Eld supported their fellows in the phalanx with their shields. Though you have but recently begun your training, a man of your natural talents belongs on the front line. I think it's time for you to learn to use another weapon in the armorer's arsenal. Specifically, pliers. Take this pair and you try them in combination with your hammer. It will feel strange at first, but persist and you will find that your work proceeds a sight more smoothly. When you think you've mastered the pliers, I want to see the results of your dedication. Until then, Eorzeon. So she wants me to now make pillow shields. I'm sure. Probably more comfortable than ingot shields, but not something I would want to sleep on. Alright, and then I gotta become a blacksmith again. So I don't feel like there's really any point to switching between these two. They're doing the same thing. Praise the builder, I was afraid you might have joined up with another crew, like the armorers. The thought of it pained me so much I was down at the wench till the morning bells I was. Yeah, I'm the reason. But here you are, still brimming with potential, and some extra meat on you for your your smithing arm. You don't, if my eyes don't deceive me. So, something new, something new. Of course, how could I forget? Eorzeon Exploreon. I bid you craft 3 bronze crossbeam hammers, just like the ones all our apprentices use. For this, you'll need bronze, maple lumber, and a hempen cloth. Why do I need a cloth? For the grip, maybe, but like cloth? Now, I know making bronze won't pose you no trouble, but allow me to offer you a bit of advice regarding the materials. If you want to save yourself some coin, you might consider mining your own copper. Yeah, we just heard this, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so cross-peen hammers are the ones. So we need 1 lumber and undyed hempen cloth each. Maple lumber, was it? Yeah, maple lumber. Alright, let's get these hammers done. We'll just start with that so we get it out of the way. Bum, 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 bum. Ah, that's right, I gotta choose normal quality. It doesn't default. Alrighty, let's go turn in. Where are them hammers? Alrighty. Seems last time we weren't no fluke. This here's some impressive work, lad. Now a layman might look at this hammer and think you just stuck a piece of bronze on a maple stick, but you've done a darn sight more than that, whether you know it or not. A hammer's a tool, after all, and the head's got to grip the shaft for tens of thousands of strikes. What's more, when a smithy's pounding a red-hot piece of metal, his hammer takes up some of the heat and swells a touch. Which ain't a problem, unless it's a poorly made piece of crap. Take it from me, lad, there's a few things more embarrassing than flinging a glowing hammerhead over your shoulder, straight into the eye of your newest apprentice, even if he did eventually get his sight back. so that happened, huh? But I reckon your hammers won't lead to any incidents like that. In short, I'm happy with what you've done. Now I'll spare us both the don't rest on your laurels speech if it's all the same to you. Thank you. Stating the bleeding obvious is best done with a drink in your hand, I find. But well done any road. Here, you'll be needing this. It's a pair of pliers! But complex jobs call for a delicate touch, which is what the file gives you. Using one alongside your hammer will make your life a good deal easier, whatever you're crafting. Try smithing something simple. I guarantee you'll see the difference. And when you've done that, do it again. I want you to practice till you can wield that file as well as your hammer. Once you got the hang of it, come back here for another task. Okay, let's go grab the last bit of Limsa. And somehow we managed to avoid degeneracy. I was surprised. Eorzeon doesn't even need to take an extra shower now. Alright, blind steer. There ain't not as boils me blood as the sight of an untrained whelp given free range at the forge. The work floor is akin to an armorer's battlefield, and you should be bloody well steer clear if you've wait, what? And you should bloody well steer clear if you ain't got the necessary skills. Your shoddy armors like to get some poor sod killed. Alright, so this takes us up. There were barely any here. People? Fishmonger, we already saw that. There is this little... Did we go to the missing member? Yeah, that's where the sirens are. Yeah, I was actually really surprised that it was so scarce and scant. Normally, Limsa is lively at all times. My loins throb like Dalamud. My heart burns like Megaflare. You have such a way with words. How does he even know what Megaflare is? And if that is poetry in motion, then I've been putting in way too much work in my poetry. Alright, so there's really nothing back here, except a view. A view of the Ultimecia, and a bird and a boat, which I don't even know what these are here for. And then Yamihoi, I have an eye patch, and why should I let a scrag such as you in? I want to see him fly, Captain. So, like, he tosses people over. I have an eye patch, so that's why I should be a pirate. I was gonna say that. What do you got for me? Are you hoping to join our crew? You'll have to walk to the back of the line and wait your turn with these others. Perhaps the captain will like your face. Perhaps he'll pitch you over the wall. There are many and more willing to risk his fickle favor for a chance to serve on Limlane's most beloved ship. Alright, well, there's not really anything that we haven't checked out, is there? I think we about did it. There's a couple of things to turn in. But other than that, I think we covered it. So let's look at for what to turn in. Lost and found. So Bulwark Hall. We take the Ethernet. We can go straight to the area near Bulwark Hall. Or we could just go into the Drowning Wench and go down the elevator. That might be easier. And then while we're at it, we'll explore this pathway that we didn't actually take. There's nothing on it except for the Jandalian quest. at that one point. There's really nothing down here either. You can see those during some rogue quests, though. Alright. Bulwark Hall. We'll go in and we'll turn our quest. Which is right here with Ndelica. Welcome to Limsa. If there's aught you'd like to know, feel free to... You got something for me, you say? A missing persons list. I'm not sure I follow. Thanks for bringing the list. I'll be sure to memorize these names. If any of the missing persons reappear, you can count on me to spot them. Most folk enter the city via the Zephyr Drift, which means they must pass through Bulwark Hall. That's why I'm constant watch here, and undercover so as to keep an eye out for suspicious activity. Hey, we learned more about them. They're undercover yellow jackets. I've been doing this for so long I've become pretty good at judging character. If there are shady characters skulking about, you can rest assured I can pick them out. Hehehe. Joy! Oh, you got another one for us. Sounds like you're already in the Yellow Jacket's good graces. You truly are a model adventurer, a paragon among your fellows. Do you think you could do me a favor? See, I'm supposed to go up and fill all the street lamps with oil that they stay lit throughout the night, but thanks to this business of missing people, I simply can't leave my post. If you could tend to the street lamps in my stead, I'd be eternally grateful. Oh, and when you've finished, please fetch me more oil from Sisipu and the Fisherman's Guild. We're running low here, and she has care of our stores. Alright, we can quickly do that one. Wait a minute, there's one behind us. A sheepish request. We have to talk to Abelfar about the sheep. The Blizzmark wants fresh lamb, does it? I could do with a slice myself, fresh off the grill and dripping in its own juices. Sorry, friend, I haven't had a single bite to eat since my shift began. Any road, you can get lamb easily enough by hunting the lambs that graze outside the city. Go through the Zephyr Gate and follow the path east and south for a bit. You'll run into the fluffy and tasty critters before long. Alright, we talked to Abelfar. Gotta go refill some lamps, which takes us all around Limsa. Like, good grief. There's one here. I can't reach it, apparently. And then hopefully this is the last of the quests in this little chain, because it is time for me to go grab some lunch. Charlie and Maiden will come into play later for the Sage. I guess we can chat up these people real fast, see if they have anything fun to say. You'll pay for that. I tried, but your ma said it was on the house. Look at the lovebirds. Kiss and be done with it. Oh, good grief. Oh, and there's more. Wonder what these are up to. I's a bodice assessor with Milvan's Gate. Well then, Lord, what is your... Wow! What is your assessment? I love ye. Come and be my salt wife. That's what all my customers tell me. So, never mind. We saw degeneracy. It was just not players. This time. Alright, Guttering Street Lamp. This is also a place that we didn't really see because there was no point in going along that path at the time. It'll also take us down to Sisipu at the Fisher's Guild, so we'll just go through. We'll get the oil, we'll report in, and we'll call that done for the day. Given Lalafell naming conventions, we had discussed that Potato Tato is an actual Lalafell female name. So if anybody wants to be a Lala female, Potato Tato, that's what you should be. You're doing what? What am I to do with that girl? She has the nerve to ask me for work, twaddling tripe about her savings, only to foist it on the first adventure that comes along? Being young and pretty does not give you license to shirk responsibility. I shall get her oil all right, and a piece of my mind to boot. Okay, let's see here. There's another quest out in Lower Lenosha. Okay. I think we're good. We're going to just pop out of the Fisherman's Guild here for our signature wait, and we'll go to Ul'dah next time, and we'll get these remaining classes fixed and have a grand old time. We might even start kind of leveling up some of these. So for now, I'm going to go eat, and I will see you next time.